Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's Friday on Going Optimal, and longtime viewers know exactly what that means. It's a chat gauntlet day. This is a day we've set aside for me to play against viewers, and usually we draft, but with the Strixhaven Arena Open coming up, which is going to be a 2-day sealed event, we're going to get going and practice for that. It's a high-level event. You can win a couple $1,000 if you go all the way with it, qualify for day 2, and then do the best you can in day 2. It pays out some actual cash. But really, though, it's aspirational limited play. With the opens represent basically the only high-level-ish play. You know, the only play outside of basically one queue at a time digital drafting. Whether you're playing on Magic Online or Arena, you'd enter a draft and finish your draft and be done, and that's it. That's the highest level drafting you get to participate in, because as Wizards adopted to the pandemic situation, they really leaned into constructed, because their digital system on Arena was much better suited to coordinate constructed events at high levels than limited. But there's obviously a big demand for aspirational limited events like this, some can I spike this tournament level limited, and we're all very excited to have that back in the rotation. They did the first one with Kaldheim, and our the limited content creation message from me and many others at the time was like, well, just vote with your gold and participate in this thing. Let's make sure they know that we care and we want this. And boy, did they hear loud and clear. They said it was a huge success, and they immediately let us know about this next one being scheduled. Not immediately, but you know what I mean. They're on it. Like it worked, gang. We showed them that we care about limited. Limited is meaningful to this community, and they are starting to incorporate more high-level limited events back into their digital repertoire. I figure that will only continue as things go forward, and that makes me very excited as a limited Magic player. What should make you very excited as a constructed Magic player is my sponsor, CardKingdom.com, because they're going to help you complete any of your constructed Magic projects, whether you're making a cube. I mean, I'm a limited player, but I still construct things like cubes, and commander players, of course. I talk about my cube a lot because I've blinged it out over time, basically 95% through Card Kingdom. They didn't have every piece of bling at every second of every day, but over time I said, all right, I'm working with Card Kingdom on this project. I use their system to alert me when restocks happened on cards I was looking for, and it really helped. Like, it helped me find really hard to find stuff, because you gotta like, if you want that stuff, you gotta jump on it when it's available. So I have things like foil Grim Monolith, like foils from the Saga days in my cube, but those were never around. It was like I had a restock notice on foil Grim Monolith for like a year, but then it got there, it arrived, and I got it, and it's in my cube now. And I really appreciate that feature, especially that their inventory is incredible, but wherever they happen to come up short, especially on the really hard to tough to find old stuff, you can put in that alert and be sure to be notified when the card you're looking for comes in. So I do that all the time. Thanks, Card Kingdom, for all your support. We're going to hop over to the left monitor here, and you can see the third-party website we're using. This is MTGAdraft.tk, and made by Senryoku. You can throw Senryoku a cup of coffee there via that donation link if you want to thank Senryoku for making this tech that we and so many others use. I don't know if anybody out there watches the Sweatsuit Invitational that I've participated in a few times now, but they use this as well. The Lords of Limited Resources, Showdown uses this. So anyway, it's really become a major tool in content creation, and I thank you, Senryoku, for giving us this awesome tool for free-ish magic. Good job. All right, I'm ready. What do you think, gang? Let's see how this goes. We've had some technical issues in the last couple of weeks with the friend system. We're going to address, we've also come up with some information, though. Like, we understand now that, for example, the friend challenge system in Arena is case sensitive. You got to be sure you're using capitals and lower cases in the usernames and stuff. So Anyway, we've got somewhat of a handle on the tech issues, but if it doesn't go perfectly, we're gonna roll with it, right? It'll all be good, and hopefully, though, our new learnings will help us figure this out. All right, let's take a look at what we've got. Magma Opus. I know. I only know the title of this. It's a mythic. What does it do? 8 mana. Deals 4 damage divided as you choose among any number of targets. Tap 2 target permanents. Create a 4/4 blue and red elemental creature token. Draw 2 cards. And we can make treasure with it. So it's just Value Town. Just a mythic Value Town card. So we'll see if we can get there. Sealed feels like this is more in reach than not. Approach of the Second Sun is an interesting win condition. Also could be potentially more viable in something like a sealed situation here. Not going to play a Stone Rain. Regrowth is maybe. Blade Historian is powerful in the abstract, but really tough to cast, and I'll be surprised if we play this just not on power level, but on, we really have to have a dedicated red-white card for that, I think, or red-white deck. Yeah, we have triple command here. Some are better than others. Witherbloom, pretty medium. It's only 2 mana, so I don't, how much value do you expect? But right, it's just like, are you getting a card's worth of value? And a land card to your draw a land and -1 something. Draw a land. Drains Oppo for 2. It's all just like pretty marginal for the 2 mana. But the other ones, like Silver Quill, you can get in a big hit with a flying creature, return a cheap creature to the battlefield, force Oppo to sacrifice, or draw and lose a life. Like, I like this one because they're all, like, it's pretty easy to find 2 of them that are worth a card, right? So this is straight, this is a nice 2-for-1. Prismari Command, not quite as easy to get the straight 2-for-1, but still very good. 2 damage to any target, usually find something. Treasure Token is not quite a card, and drawing 2 cards and then discarding 2 cards is not quite a card. If you have a good artifact to destroy, then killing a creature and an artifact, sure, that's going to be a 2-for-1. But mostly this is 3 mana shock with upside of rummaging, looting, or ramping a bit. Making with a treasure token. So especially if we're playing the Magma Opus, which I'd like to try, we would definitely play the command. But let's see now what's going on. It looks like we do have a lot of stuff going on in Prismari here, just in terms of gold cards. So I'm seeing, like, one way to do this might just be to, like, sort by schools, see where our gold sits. That's going to tell us a lot, really. Witherbloom Apprentices. Reconstruct History, not that great. I'll put this here. Oh, I didn't look at this is the Paolo card. This is a fine card. 3 mana, 3/1 flyer is fine in the outset, and then it takes something in their hand and makes it more expensive, so it taxes their hand. It's not overpowered or anything. It's not a 2-for-1. But it's certainly going to get in the deck if you're anywhere near white. And let's look at our our gold stuff down here. I also like to see Inkling Summoning, Elemental Summoning, Pest Summoning, Introduction to Prophecy. Yeah, Environmental Sciences, that's good to see. That means we can help us splash if we have some learn. I don't know what our learn situation is yet, though. A couple of campus guides. This is hard to see with my current columning, though. I'm going to readjust it, and it's going to mess up the sorting I already did, but I think I have to bail on that. It was wasn't working out with that sorting method. But I'm looking here. Where's our land? That's what I really want to see where we're at. Do we just not get any? Is this possible? Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Did we get 0 campuses? How about that? Like, wow. That seems wildly unlikely. Of course, it is possible. They're not a guaranteed slot like they have been in some sets. They're just commons. But to have a cycle of 5 commons, of which you get 0 across 6 packs, is quite extreme. Because in a 24 pack draft, you should expect something like 2.8 or something copies of every common in 24 packs. So you can math that out, and it's pretty unusual to end up with none. But here we are with none. So that makes me want to, like, I almost want to bring this into the client, because I want to do some text searching. Like, I don't understand, you know, how much learning do we have, for example? These sealed decks are just hard to build. You'd think it'd be easy. I've really struggled to come up with the right build for my sealeds in this format so far, and I would think it'd be easier because there's only like kind of 5 primary pairs, but it's tough. Let me see. I want to look back at. Oops. I want to look back at rarity and look at these uncommons again. See where the power is in our uncommons. I like the Trudge. I like the Flunk. Yeah, it does. Like the Witherbloom does have some stuff going on, but I really like this Prismari high end. Trouble is, it's nowhere near Witherbloom, right? Like, so that's kind of my first question. Are we more? And Prismari looks like it has some learning that's good. A couple of learn cards here, and then there's first day of class as well. But a couple of Pigment Storms. Just looking. Kind of putting the blue-red that I like over here. Pillar Drop seems good in this type of deck. Pledge Mage. But then we really start to fall off on that color pair anyway. Anything here? Oh, this is good. Yeah, we do have, looks like a lot of our learn is in red-blue so far that I'm finding, so that's somewhat exciting. This is okay. This is good interaction. What else we got going on in uncommon? This isn't very exciting. This goes in anything. You know, play that, but it's not super exciting. Yeah, I do kind of feel like we're being pulled in either this Prismari direction or this Witherbloom direction. See what chat is up to, what chat thinks. Yeah, we can put Curve in here. Curve is dependent on the number of spells, of course, but you generally get there. Oh yeah, I didn't miss the Prismari command. Vortex Runner, certainly playable too. I'm not saying these are all the playables, and anything I'm not putting over here is unplayable, just that this is what's, you know, jumping out at me. Yeah, I think I'm on I think the depth that I'm seeing here in Prismari is pretty good. And so then, are we splashing anything? If we do Prismari, are we splashing anything? We can main deck into Gate too. Even a Whirlwind Denial might be playable here. I don't love it, but you could do it. And yeah, I'm starting to look at the black, but I got to look at the black down here, right? But let's see. That's why, I mean, I have looked at, that's why I'm saying I feel like we're Witherbloom or Prismari, because the black is reasonably strong. All this stuff is playable, not amazing, but all that's playable. I don't love these. This is good. This is good. What's going on in green? Nothing major in the green commons. Biblioplex Assistant goes well, really, in this with this crew over here. Rebuying expensive stuff with assistants once you can. Maybe green would be splashable with like a Eureka moment, although we have some card draw here, right? With all the learning. This could be playable in this build. Yeah, Shredder can go in this one. Even Breakthrough could. Effigy. Like, that's a deck right there. You can even play the Befuddler. It's not great, but I'll put that as a, you know, I would consider it as you try to fill out playables. I think Prismari is looking better. It's a little lighter on removal. Like, it's only got the Pigment Storms are okay. What I would love to, you know, the thing that this really feels like is missing to me is one of those 3 mana red burn spells, whether it's the uncommon or the common, you know, just like dealing damage for 3 mana. I would like to see here. We just don't have that though. Yeah, heated debate, but there's the uncommon one too, the learn one. Those two are missing from this, and it's a, I noticed that, right? Like, that's really what you're looking for from your red removal, and we just don't have it. And whereas black has like Mage's Onslaught and Flunk, you like to see that removal. The Trudge is great. But let's get on with it. I think having split it all apart like this, I'm on the Prismari plan, and I'm gonna be pretty two-color about it. I'm gonna maybe you could even make an argument for the Symmetry Sage if you're straight two-color, but that's tough. That's more tempo aggro, and I think we're too sealed for that, if you know what I mean. You like Witherbloom splashing white? Yeah, I'll consider that too. I'm going to start here. I want to get going, but we could do a rebuild later if we feel like we should. And this is going to be fine. Let's look at overall numbers. Nothing is finalized yet. I have not combed through the sideboard looking for all the possibilities, but I want to see what we've got starting wise. Just got an 8. We got 10 creatures counting the bibliotech. So let's see. We are talking about the Blade Historian is going to be too hard to cast at quad red. Pledge Mage being suggested, and yeah, we can play it. I don't like the double red, but we can do that. We do have Campus Guide. We have Zephyr Boots we could consider. Don't have a lot of creatures though, and I have a hard time finding spots for something like this when you're a creature light. You want to splash the approach with what? How are we doing that? We have, I guess we have Environmental Sciences. If we play the approach, is there any other white that we should be playing? Because if you're going to splash the white, what else is there? And that would be in white red, right? Is there any white red gold cards that are appealing? The relic slots aren't really worth splashing. Reconstruct History also not worth splashing. Thrilling Discovery not worth splashing. Any straight white, there's Expel if you wanted to get some more interaction. Yeah, Environmental Sciences is the only reason I'm even considering this. If we didn't have Environmental Sciences, I wouldn't even stop to think about the approach plan. I would just be two color. I don't think this is a Make Your Mark deck, though. We're going to cut that. I think we're going to cut the Boots. Maybe cut the Denial. And boy, Expel might be worth it if we're going to go for the approach. Yeah, but if you're going to do the work, getting some extra interaction, especially since we recognize that we are kind of low on it given the red. We only have the Pigment Storms and some of the really expensive stuff. No, I think we'll make sure that my lessons are in the right spot, but I'm not sure how that works. Yeah, we have a little treasure, Sudden Breakthrough if we play it. Prismari Command could do it, but I'm willing to include the Second Sun, and we'll see. I'm worried that we don't have the tools to survive as well as I'd like, but I guess we've got some interaction. Let's give this a shot. There's some really medium creatures here for sure. Maybe I just take out the Befuddler, but this is what I want for my early creature defense, right? So I think we can cut a Befuddler. And that leaves 2 more cuts that I want to make. I think I cut the Tome Shredder. I don't know, like, we want to actually, this is a non-bow with our assistants. We want to get our stuff back, and this isn't very it's a little aggro. I think I'm cutting the Shredder. Ori Boro, thank you for all those gift subs. Very fine of you to do that. Maybe I cut the Breakthrough as well, since we're Creature Light. I know it does some of the treasure thing, but we're not really worrying about, we're getting that through Prismari Command and through learning up a environmental sciences. So yeah, I'm down with this. Let's give this a try. And if it goes horribly, I may do a mid-event rebuild. What a lovely song to hear. Thank you so much for that. Very kind, very kind. Export this to Arena and hop back here. Actually, I'll hop to deck building. Volume. Let's see, what is it going to cost me to craft all? Yeah, we'll just do it. And I'm going to make sure, like, we go down with Stone Rain. Looks like they fixed it, right? But like what was happening before is that lessons were not automatically going to the top, which is where, of course, you'd want your lessons for best of one sideboarding. But now it looks like they've got that sorted, and all of the lessons are indeed up top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Good job, Wizards. Good job. Yeah, I craft Stone Rain. Is it a rare? Yeah, it's funny. Gotta love it. I might run it. What if you're greedy? Top 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Yeah, channel point prediction bets are totally kosher. I just usually leave it up to my mods to run that if people are feeling it. But long-time poker player here, you're not going to catch me telling you not to gamble. Gamble! I believe we got Mirage Lands queued up in the requests today. Oops. And I do like the system's suggestion. Well, if it can... Oh, I liked the other one. We're going to go... Yeah, 9-7 is arguable, but we want even early, so we're going to fix this to be an even split. What else have I got in Bling Land? We got Mirage Lands, and of course Lotus Sleeves from Mama. You got it, Mama. Mama likes to use Lotus Sleeves on Fridays because these sleeves were what chat got to buy when they beat me 6 times in a chat gauntlet. I think that covers it, though. We just need a clever deck name. Storm them out. We got a couple of storm cards. We're doing Prismari. It's sealed. We have 2 assistants. Weather the storm. We'll storm them out. This is going to be best of 1, yes. Best of one allows me to play once against all of the participants, and we get a nice 7-game spread and a nice clear who's going to win 4 times and take the week, right? Storm approaching is better. Let's do that because we do have approach. Approaching storm. How about approaching storm? Very good. All right, we got a deck name, we got a deck, we got competitors. Now we're going to put our tech to the test. We have learned that exact spelling, exact capitalization is important in this, and we're going to use the friend challenge system. So Cardlinger, here we go. Crossing fingers, crossing swords, using correct capitalization and setting up the challenge match. Let's see how it works. A little stall here. If it stays stalled, we'll just do a quick restart. Okay. That's cool. I'm glad to hear it, but just me, Cardlinger, might still be building and not... no problem, Cardlinger. I'm just glad to hear it's not, so far, a tech issue. We'll see. So maybe while Cardlinger is working, I will rebuild... I'll take a look at the deck from a Witherbloom Splash White standpoint, which is something we want to look at. You also need to challenge me, Brolos, yeah. Before I'd been doing buddy system challenging, but buddy system is completely borked. I have no friends. We just have to use the direct challenge. You heard it here first, gang. I have no friends. I'm going to take coffee and hugs to randos on the street. I'm allowed to hug you now. Anyway, what was I'm going to bring up the other window. Let me look for that. Here is the deck window. I'll hop back to left monitor for a sec. And now let's cut this deck and rebuild, assuming green, black, splash, white, and see what that looks like. Eye twitch. Actually, so I'm going to sort this by color. Yes, 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 yes. These are maybes. Probably, yeah, I guess. Ugh. The baseline green is not great, but there's some action going on in the gold cards for sure. And where do we have? We had, there it is. Woe Eater. Yeah, I guess regrowth should go in. It's a little clunky, but you'll get something. And then we could splash for the command and for the sun. Any other white, black gotta plays? This could be considered. Hey, thank you, Phil. Phil used my affiliate link to make a purchase with Card Kingdom today, thus helping keep me on the air. Yay, Phil. Thanks. Yeah, I don't see anything else jumping out at me that's like, gotta splash that in your Obzon deck. So where does this leave us? Pretty close to a deck. We just need to throw in, you know, like, what's the... This is 14 creatures. Could play a big play or a charge through, just something to kind of fill it out a bit, like a big play. No problem, Cardlinger. Cardlinger's good to go. I kind of wanted to get this partially built anyway. Oh, there's also assistants that I didn't add into this deck that are totally legit here as well. Like maybe cut the big play and one assistant, something like this. I'm going to export this and put it in the client at least so that I can tweak it later if we want to. Spellbinder doesn't seem worth splashing to me because its real value is a curve out play. I don't like it. Would be fine late game. It's not that it's not useful late, but it certainly loses its luster as a turn 12 play, right? Whereas turn 3, mwah. And I don't like splashing things that are meh turn 12 and chef's kiss turn 3. Oops. Approaching rot. Just because Golgari colors, you know. Not that Witherbloom School is too much about rot. Although, come on, a bloom withering, that's rot, right? So there you go, approaching rot. What we're gonna do here. All right. I'm gonna do a par poll. So you tell me how many times you think I'm going to win with this deck on average. But also if anybody wants to run a channel points wagering thing, any of my mods can run that, no problem. That'd be good. But I am going to look up my first... Oh, it's Cardlinger, of course. Yes, I got that. All right, Cardlinger, here we go. I'm going to cross the swords and cross my fingers. Amnesia Scanner? Not heard of that. I wanna rock. Bang, ding, 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 ding. I wanna rock. Turn it down, you said. Well, all I gotta say to you is time and time again I said no. No, no, no. Is this keepable? We can do a Pledge Mage. We're going first. We can get an Aerialist. This is bad for a while. I think we mulligan this. This is bad for a while. This is bad for a while. This is not castable for a long while. This is the only thing we can do, and it's not good enough. Everything is keepable if you believe. Well, I failed to believe in that one. We're going to keep this. I am often quite greedy and will throw a land back in this spot, but probably need to just get rid of like one of the higher drops here. The Fuming Effigy is not that great. It comes down sooner than the Pigment Storm, but Pigment Storm's straight up removal, and Fuming Effigy is not. A really tough one. Yeah, I'll update that stuff. Thank you. That's a good point. We need this updated. You tell me what you want to throw back Divide by Zero? No, I can't throw that back because it learns. Like, this is great to have. Divide by Zero is like probably the last thing I would pitch from this hand. I really think it's number one. Number two, like maybe Negate, but Negate matters a lot in this format. Like, there's just so many people doing learn stuff that's spell based. Anyway, we're gonna do that. I think I'm gonna go with the clunky removal because we don't know if we're gonna get there. Curve comes back. Doesn't look very good yet, but we get Negate and Divide by Zero cast, and this will be just fine. You think Cardlinger will do us the favor of casting a non-creature spell here? No. But we have Prismari Command. We got all these instants. We got all these instants waiting to do work for us. Give me something to hit, Cardlinger. Don't you pass this turn back to me. Although I suppose not being under pressure as we mulliganed wouldn't be bad either. Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to kill this thing, and you could make a case for the looting, but treasure is good here too. If we don't get a land, we can just play the effigy and get on board there. So I'm going to create treasure and deal 2. Arcane Subtraction. Interesting. Did not find another land. We could Arcane Subtraction and learn and get it, but that needs a creature anyway. You don't have a target for it, so we actually can't. I'm just going to play Effigy. I could hold up this stuff, but I like getting on board here. That's a heck of a review. But I kind of fit that mold. I know Animal Collective and kind of wish they were simultaneously more and less approachable. So now we're going to hold Negate, Divide by 0, and Arcane Subtraction. We could attack in, I suppose. I kind of want to encourage an attack back, but I'm going to attack. I'm going to attack. There's no way Cardlinger's blocking, and it's too conservative for me not to try and race with my effigy here. Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna negate that. And we're gonna Arcane Subtraction the artist on attacks. Oh. Interesting, they're not attacking, I guess. Okay, well, we're gonna go... That means Cardlinger's looking to block, and it means we're gonna use Subtraction on... to win combat instead. And we can take the sciences to make sure we have our white mana for the approach. But also, if we just get one of our elemental summonings, we feed the curve and we increase our threat density. So I'm just going to get the biggest threat we can from our sideboard here. And divide by 0 on whatever they play on their turn. Sets us up for either a big curve or a summoning. Like, curve gets to be bigger than summoning next turn. But if we wait a turn, it gets to be even extra big because of the summoning. Oh, just the perfect thing. We cannot divide that by 0. But, this is where... Hey, everybody, I remembered what my spell does. I remembered what my spell does. I can actually do this. And it matters. I'm going to get another elemental summoning. And now we're going to get to the point where the curve actually beats the invocation. You can't bounce the token. That's the thing. That's why I was excited about remembering what my card actually did. The permanent that spell creates does not have a mana value 1 or greater. The spell itself, though, does, so you can target it. Look at me, reading cards. Yeah, baby, I'm a card reader. Of course, now we got a 6/6 that's a bit of a tough pill here, but hopefully we just get big and wide enough to outdo Cardlinger on that front. Here, I'll... enable emotes since we're playing against friendlies today. Yipe! Well, new plan. Vortex Runner and another mana. Another land. Yeah, would you rather be a card linger or a card reader? Everything we draw is pretty good now, and we might be able to flunge next turn depending on what cardlinger comes up with. Yes, I am. My transformation to Bill Gates is underway. Tin Man, thanks for the follow. Oh, actually, looking at that reminds me I should be down here. I wonder if there's any free memes coming for y'all. Nope. Ooh, Pillar Drop is gonna get a lot of cool stuff back. I just want a land. I want a basic land so that this runner starts getting in. 4-turn clock on runner. That's what I assumed, Chewy. All right, well, we did not get a land, and if we play the assistant, we give ourselves a turn, another turn before we find a land, but look at all this sweet stuff we can get back. What about Prismari Command? Just a Serpentine Curve for an 8/8? Trying to figure out if we even want to do this yet. Yeah, we could do. That's interesting, Brian. Just get our land for sure. But gosh, if we do that, like, why am I even bothering? I should just draw and try to draw it naturally. Yeah, that's true. It sees itself right now. It'll be a 7/7. Good point, Hat. Well, let's start by sending our 7/7. And forcing some of that action, and then make another one. I think just making 7/7 seems good. Because if Cardlinger's at the point where they're looking to trade off for our 7s, let's just make another one. Seems like that's an effective approach here. Uh-oh. Worried about the learn here. What is Cardlinger going to learn? Front foot for the moment, but I do not feel this is over by any stretch. Like, that's going to be big game. Right now, it's going to make a 6/6. But even with the land, it can only make a 7/7 with the treasure, so... And we match that. But I was hoping to be the only, the one with the big thing left standing. Oh, sorry, here, I'll do that. You get it for free. I'll reject your... where's it? Where's my pop quiz? There it is.
All right, pop quiz.
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz. Hot
Now
shot.
what do you do?
What do you do? What do you do?
And in fact, you also get...
¿Dónde estás? La biblioteca. Me llamo T-Bone, la araña discoteca.
Cardlinger was really under some pressure and has stabilized admirably. And we're kind of looking for our avenue to victory now. Yeah, the plan A at this point is find a land for the runner and attack 4 times. That's plan A. But that's a lot of turns that have to go flawlessly without interference from Cardlinger. So I'm not assuming anything there. Pillar drop Warden. All right, we'll play that. Let's see. Next turn, we want a basic land, and then we fetch something. Recast it. Classic Quandrix, just making huge stuff. And now we're the ones in trouble. Cannot bounce the token. People keep talking. I'm going to give Hammer earns the reading meme. Only because we've talked about it already. Except I can't find it. Here it is.
Oh no, please! I can't read your crazy moon language!
If we triple block the 8/8 with what? We can't put our Vortex Runner at risk. The 2 4/4s are still a 2-for-1, even if we triple. And I almost just like chumping with the 2/1, or if we're like, or double blocking. That's still a 2-for-1 as well. See, I would rather just 7/7 and 4/4 and hope we get the 1-for-1. And I think we do, because we're about to we can get something back and again make a big thing that can trade with their big thing. So I'm going to risk it. Action from Cardlinger that blows us out there, probably just like his game swinging. We are missing a little bit here. We just want our 8th land, so the Vortex Runner gets going. But we also have Pillar Drop to get back something here. We can't... This doesn't do anything real. I guess we're just on curve again. 5, 6, 7. But we can't... I can't play Pledge Mage, Sack Warden, and play curve, so... Why do people want the divide? What do we want to go do? You want to get the land? Like, I just feel like we're going to draw the land. But I suppose that could work. Like, we can chump enough there. It does. Like, if they can't kill it, that will get it done, and that is Plan A. All right, I'll do that. I don't love it, but I'll do it because I think. Well, it's not. First, it wasn't 4 draws ago, Brian. And second, it's still true. Like, we are just likely to draw land. So I've been trying to avoid having to do this, right? Drawing a land was Plan A. Getting a land was definitely not Plan A, because I would much rather get action, right? I would much rather get more meaningful action than that. I mean, not that this isn't zero action, but it's not the action I'm looking for. That being said, yes, we'll do it. How many bounces? What blockers, Brian? What blocker do you think this bounces? This Spectacle Mage? Anyway, we're gonna actually send back. I mean, we could send back the Spectacle Mage, but we get in with the assistant. Like, so I guess the question is, do we want to slow down their runner or get in with an assistant? We're definitely sending the runner, or you mean this? Yeah, which one do we send back? Are we, because we go, like, we can increase the race like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. It does put them on a 2-turn clock. If we don't do that, they're on a 4-turn clock still. So actually, I think it reduces the clock by 2 to hit the mage and get in with the assistant. And also this pings. No, we can't wait because we're trying to get our runner in this turn. We can't wait. We're trying to cast Sciences this turn to get a land this turn to attack with runner this turn. So, but also my math is off because if we bounce the runner, this will ping them and they'll go to 9 and they're on a 3-turn clock and we get an extra chumper. So there's that as well. But I'm going to go for the mage and the extra damage. Forgot the 2 life as well. Getting a little extra cushion on this race isn't the worst. Shocking, but they're still on a 2-turn clock with any instant and sorcery and if the effigy lives. So we're going to try and chump with elementals or trade. Speaking of elementals, geez. All right. So a 9er coming in hard. We could take all of this 9, 10, 11, 12, go to 4. Oh, sorry. I should give myself a reading here.
Oh no, please! I can't read your crazy moon language!
I am in such a spell mindset. In my head, this was just pinging on instants and sorceries. Sorry. So observe that we could win on the we win on the crackback barring lightning bolt. So I think we just have to take this and try to win on the crackback. That's a excellent observation. So we're just going to say no blocks and take this all and hope we can crack back and hope they don't play something for a single red mana. Well, they got, yeah, looks like we, what's this? Yeah, we got it. Looks like it's ours to take.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
That was suddenly tighter than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were really running away with that one, and then Cardlinger made some excellent plays to stabilize and take that one to the very edge. Very good game, Cardlinger. And like, only 7 of us needed the no reading meme. But I was not alone, so there's that. Gotta stop pretending I'm at the place where I don't have to read the cards in this set, like I know them. Quantum Optics, aka Pablo YT, is up next. Good luck, Pablo. Pablo running off to hide. Both hanging. All right, let's try again. I'll do a quick restart. It's always the safe thing to do here. See why I'm nervous about the approach plan, right? Like if we draw an approach of the second sun, I don't know if we would have survived. If that was our win con, I think we just get overwhelmed by beasties before we pull it off. We'll still keep trying it though. I think it's worth trying. All right, logging back in here. Approach does give you some life to help with that. All right. Let's try again. Success. Good luck, Pablo. Here we go. Totally keepable. Needs a little help from here, but Pledge Mage, any land unlocks a bunch of 4s, seems fine. I'm not scared of that. There's more land. Snap block if it attacks. I'll trade for trick or creature. Well, if it attacks, obviously we're trading for trick. Would love to find something to do on 3. That would be ideal. Well, I guess we have something to do on 3. Play a land and pass. I put a stop there just to put a little fear into Pablo that that we paused here, that we maybe could have done something. You're late, Pledge Mage. We had a job for you and everything. Gosh, some people. They're so lackadaisical about work. Just show up whenever. We're gonna go... No, oh, there is a reach creature. So do we want to go Waterfall Aerialist and just accept that this is going to trade off? Probably not. I'm going to go ahead and play Effigy and see if we can get the Aerialist in later. Yeah. Pledge week is not going so well for this one. Well, we could play Aerialist, which threatens to trade with the Spectre, or Pillar Drop, which can bounce off of it indefinitely, but we don't have anything to get back with the Pillar Drop yet, and so I'm just going to play the Aerialist and accept a trade with the Spectre if offered, or hold the Spectre back, one of the two. And I should have thought about attacks before casting a creature. Of course, one of my leaks is I figure out what I'm going to play, but not what I'm going to do attack wise, and then I'm like attacking with more information when I attack. That being said, to kill this requires a double block, so we do just go ahead and attack. And if this would trade like Spectre for Effigy, but that'd be fine. I'd make that trade. And that's exactly what Pablo is thinking about, whether he wants to trade Spectre for Effigy with the double block. No, says Pablo. What is this? Some mythic I have not read before. Blex, Vexing Pest, 2 and a green for a 3/2. Other pests, bats, insects, snakes, and spiders you control get +1/+1. When this dies, you gain 4 life. And then it's got a flip side for 4 mana, sorcery, and draw a bunch of cards for a bunch of life. Okay, solid card. Where are we doing? We have ourselves 6 mana, which is not really enough to do much here, and the Serpentine Curve could not be worse. At this point in time, you would have played the sorcery. Oh yeah, you would have gone for card draw. Well, they don't have the mana for it, so that might have been part of the consideration. I'm going to play a Pillar Drop here over the Pledge Mage. And same thing, same possibilities before. This time it would trade here. They're not pumping anything. If they double block here, that's a 2-for-1. Yeah, I'm still going to offer. And I'm still doing it wrong by casting first and attacking second, but it still is the same correctness to attack. That is a Spirit Dwarf right there. That seems like an acceptable trade. I don't know if Pablo's going to bust out a bunch of pests, bats, insects, or snakes and spiders, but felt like a reasonable trade-off. Is this hooting? I don't know what that is. Must be that, though. Vortex Runner at 7 mana, so we'll be never draw another land again, as observed. I'm just going to go our 2 creatures here. Curve is just not good yet. I mean, this deck is mostly... It's got so many instants and sorceries, we're just not finding them this game. Am I going to attack first? In this case, I'm not going to attack because there's nothing I want to attack with, but very, very well played. At least the nice thing with a Vortex Runner and 7 lands is like you're really happy with just about any draw. Either we get some action or we start attacking with a Vortex Runner. But we got a long way to go here. Arch is moving it upwards, and Vortex Runner, even if we get it going, is going to be only +2 damage per turn against the Arch. All right, that's going to be nice. I'm going to cast it main phase. We're looking for a lot of stuff, but might even ditch the curve here if we don't find anything good, because curve is not good right now. So it can be our discard outlet for this spell. Yeah, interesting. If we decline, we're going to have to ditch like these two anyway. I don't want to do that, so we're definitely going to ditch a spell. And really, Serpentine Curve is the worst one here right now. It might get good by the end of the game, but I'm going to keep these two. We actually get all these right now. I know this gets plus power, but I'm saying we do 3 damage, they gain 1 life. So it's a net 2 damage is what I'm saying between the Arch and the Runner. And we can actually send the Pledge Mage. We do have more instants that we can cast to pump its power. So I like sending these, and even this one as well. I mean, this has more of a clean block. But with the Arch, but let's make him do it. Pablo figured that one out. And everything else is instant speed, and I don't need the extra damage here, so I'm just going to pass. We got a lot of work to do, though, between the Arch gaining life and the Spectre draining. Like, we're basically Vortex Runners being fully canceled out each turn by Arch and Spectre, but that also keeps Pablo's mana pretty tied up. So if that's plan A, we still are in a decent spot. That's true. I can start offering up the Aerialist. I should probably just start doing that because they are unlikely. Yeah, they're going to block with the Colony. That's a good point. We'll make that play next turn. Swim Down observes the Aerialist does let us. Oh, that's interesting. So they don't want us to get that that action back. I could just counter the spell or bring this back. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to return my own Warden, basically countering the Onslaught with Bounce, and we get to learn. And what do we want from this? Maybe just Introduction to Prophecy, but maybe just Biggies on the Ground again. Biggies on the Ground seems fine here. Or we can just cast Magma Opus and watch a bunch of stuff happen. That seems good. I mean, I don't know. They could have counters or something, but I think we just go for this, right? 4 damage divided as we choose. Tap. 2 target permanents. Yeah. Only question is how do we divide up the damage? Probably just go... take out this Spectre and accept that this trades with this and everything else is going to get in. Or actually, we just tap down everything else. Anyway, this is what I'm going to try. All right. This and this. This and this. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Squirrel might get bigger, it's true. But this is what I have chosen. Good game. Too early for a good game, but this is a good turn. Excellent turn, especially Pillar Drop, Bibliotech. We're just going to Biblioplex back the Opus. Bury in Books maybe is actually good enough to skip the recasting of the Opus and just go for Subtraction and Bury. What if we... Yeah, I'm just going to bury the 5/5, and then we can subtract the 4/4. Too much value.
Toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
All right. Turns out 8 mana mythics are powerful. Who knew? Yeah, good game, Pablo. I had the incredible skill to make it to and cast an 8 mana mythic sorcery, so obviously we know who's better here. All right, time for Nicole. Here we go. Will it work? Might have to do another restart. I'm suspicious. All right, it's been long enough. I'm going to cancel and restart the client again. That's been working at least. It's frustrating, but if we can find a reasonable workaround that is reliable, we can make it through. Have not tried the Witherbloom build yet, but we will before the end, I think. I mean, I don't know. I think this feels strong and better to me than what I was seeing in Witherbloom, but we can give them both a try. I'm just going to keep rolling with this, though. Although maybe I'll say somebody has to beat this deck first. If I go 7-0 with this deck, I'm not switching. But if somebody beats me, I'll switch to the other deck. That's going to be my my line. Is Brolas streaming? Oh, he's just ending now. Thanks, Hat. That's the first time I've had Opus cast or cast. You know, I've never had it cast against me, and that's the first time I've cast it. So that's my first experience with the Opus, and it feels pretty darn strong. All right. We are there. Well, time to see if the approach gets us there. I'm going to keep this on the strength of Pledge Mage and Defense Against Attackers on 3. And Subtraction is nice as well. When I cast the Mythic spell, Pablo was holding up counter mana. Well, but I mean, I don't know. I felt like there was so much action. Also, I don't know if the counter spells are like exile, but we had two ways to get back. We had two ways to get back spells from the graveyard to the top of our library. Like we had a Biblioplex Assistant and the Pillar Drop. So like, okay, counter it. I'm gonna get it back and cast it again. That being said, without recursion, I probably hem and haw and then still do it anyway, just because I think you got to make him have it, especially, and we also had plenty of action behind. I mean, it depends on how desperate you are to resolve that spell and how likely you think it's ever going to be that they're going to be not holding up the counter spell, right? Like, because if Pablo's representing possible counter magic but has 8 lands, what's our plan? Pass and hope that Pablo taps out next time? Like, at some point, you gotta try it. But I hear you were saying, like, cast another spell. Try to draw it out with something else. Totally true. If you feel like it's mission critical to play that spell and you have alternatives, you could absolutely try and suss it out that way. All right, we're gonna end the turn here, and I bet the Pledge Mage ends up flying here. If it does, I probably just bury it, I think. Ooh, Umbral Juke to sacrifice, and yeah, we don't care about that, and we will, I mean, we care about it, but like this happens. And then we're going to go ahead and use one of these to... Interesting they chose flying when they knew we were going to lose our creature. I would choose lifelink there, but maybe Nickel didn't want to be... in case we stopped it somehow, wanted to be able to fly over. Given that, I think I'm just going to bury it in books. We could do subtraction to learn, but I kind of just like burying books, and we can even assistant back the bury. But I'm going to bury in books. Max mana. And max damage. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and assistant back the bury. It's fine. Plenty annoying. Yeah, frog play around. It was in my pool, but I think we cut it from the deck. Interesting offer here, but I'm going to say no blocks. We're going to try and crack back. We're not going to try and crack back. Yeah, no joke here, right? I can send it back, but it's going to cost me 5 life, and then it's just going to come back eventually anyway. Might still do it, but I'm going to go with Barry, pay some life to do this. Crossing fingers, couple of cards that could muck with this, but we made it. We do have the approach here, and so I am going to take environmental sciences. Yeah, before blocks is another option, so we know for sure whether or not we're cleanly doing that. But I also didn't mind the trade if that got countered or something like that. I am going to go for the environmental sciences given the approach in hand. Very nice. At least our Biblioplex assistant, which I owe you a meme for, can trade for that. Here, I'll give you Biblio. Where is it?
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Me llamo T-Bone, la araña discoteca.
So we could first day of class, but we don't have a lesson to put a counter on the creature. I'm just going to pass and play approach next turn. And then maybe first day of class comes into play after that. Although, yeah, that's fine. I don't want to shuffle the approach away, so I got to be careful not to shuffle, but we can do this without shuffling. Well, I'm going to offer, we could take a lot of damage next turn, but the approach should get us 7, we get 7 life from the approach. I'm not concerned about keeping the assistant around and attacking. We're trying to win through approach now, so really trading off there is great. Let me say Bury. Bury. Again, it's Teletubbies time.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Me llamo T-Bone, la araña discoteca.
You can tell I was a parent in the aughts. Teletubbies and that creepy kid Caillou. What the hell is wrong with Caillou? Something not right with that kid. Alright, so we're going to go first day of class and create a creature, I think. Although we do need to get rid of this, reasonably soon. But 17 life... with a nice ground pounder to threaten these seems fine. So I'm going to go get one of our token makers. Could also take the summoning, but we don't have the mana for it, so that's a no-go. We're just going to take the elemental summoning. Prophecy is totally reasonable. Yeah, maybe I should have gotten Prophecy because it digs us to approach faster. That's a good point. No, I think that's totally fair given that this is plan A and Prophecy digs us a couple turns faster. Certainly if we get any more learning, we'll do that. But I do like the stability of a 5/5 on the ground plus a Pigment Storm for the air. Pledge Mage can fly above us, but hopefully we have enough juice to hang here. That's not bad. Can we cast both of these? Can't cast both of these, but I'm on Pigment Storm here on the flyer. Try to stabilize completely. Don't you save that. What are you pausing for, Oppo? What do you think Nikolai's got in hand that pauses are happening? There's no... We'll find out, I guess, but I'm staying back. I don't care if they let us cast the approach or not. Strong. It's a lot of damage in the air. Oh, they're coming on the ground. Well, given the curve, I'm going to take this offer. Is this where we find out what Nickel is up to? All we got was an oops. I don't know what the oops was about, but I'm gonna go well, yeah, I could make a Pigment Storm and then get even a bigger curve, but 7 is fine. Let's do this and hold the Pigment Storm. I'm sure Nickel will explain later, but I'm not 100% what that oops was. Hello, friend. That's going to get us to our win con faster, but just going to wait as an instant. We'll do that at the end of their turn. And this is a sorcery. Can't cast both, so I'm just going to hold. No counter magic here, so basically we should be good unless Nickel has something to mill us. Right? Nickel needs to mill away this approach, or we're going to find it with Practical Research, untap, and cast it. Well, Nickel has topped that, so it's something. Is it game-winning, though? Now, Nickel doesn't know we're about to draw and cast the game winner, so Nickel doesn't understand that this is his last turn to make this happen. That's right. 772 skirt of these.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
All right, a second sun victory. Well, I don't know. We cast it once, so I guess you could go back and look at the look at the VOD. All right. Time for the rock bobster. I'm gonna not even mess around. I'm just gonna restart now. Restart every time. Ah, okay, you were trying to give your priest flying. Got it. I think that was 3, right? Yeah, we're on 3 wins. All right, Bobster, bring it. Let's see what you've got. Oh, wow, so it came down to it. Well, Magma Opus is far away. If desperate, we could turn it into treasure. We do have recursion. We have 2 of the recursion 2/1 flyers, so making treasure and then getting this back later is totally legit thing to do, but we're going to keep and start on Prismari Apprentice and see what we do on 3. I guess so. This week has not been going well results-wise, but it's going well today. And cool, we found a 3-drop as well. So now we get to hold on the decision regarding the Opus. We have a nice 2, 3, and 4, and even 5 if we pull the lands for it. That's going to be a problem. We need to kill that ASAP. ASAP maybe in a couple of turns. Could be a reason to actually make treasure with the Opus, just so that we have a greater chance of untapping and killing the crap out of this Dean of Radiance. So that's a real consideration here, especially since we don't even have our 4th land in hand. So it could be a bit before we get to 5 lands and have something to take this out. So I am going to be a little more crafting of my game plan to this specific card, and we are going to treasure up this card to potentially have Pigment Storm on 4. But this has got to die, or we are going to die. This is instant, right? I can do this end of turn. That would suck. Let's check on CBL. I'll give it a little focus. It's up and open and everything. I've done all I can besides restart. Let me know if you want me to restart CBL. Instead, we draw another Pigment Storm. Let's drop a Pledge Mage and pass. But this is why I really wanted to do that. I mean, again, if I hadn't made this treasure, we'd be like 2 turns away still from possibly casting it. Oh, Blade Historian. That's the one I didn't play because it just didn't work out for me. Now we kind of need land, Pigment Storm on this thing, then land, Pigment Storm on this thing. All right. Part 1 taken care of. I guess there's an argument actually for killing this first. Let's do that. Let's kill this thing before it gets out of hand. Well, this is the thing I've been focusing on, True, because of how it's getting things better turn after turn after turn. But yes, I'm going to do it in the other order. (17-17). I'm actually going to be aggressive here too and try and race. It's a scary thing to try and race this, but we do have some tools here. And we're not set up to block well, so if we can't block, I could block with this, but I'd rather be attacking with this. Come on, land. Any land off the top, please. One-time dealer. Grr. No such luck. We can curve to at least make this unblockable. We can waterfall aerialist to have blocks up here. They can still just sit back and tap to buff their team. But I like this because we play the aerialist. If we do find a land next turn, we can hit the Dean and trample for 4 and then have some unblockable stuff. Like, we could literally win next turn off of a Pigment Storm if it all goes our way. Not that it is going to, but it's a plan, so I'm going to do this. All right, let's see what they learn. Bobster could wreck us with a good lesson. Teach us a lesson. We could just be dead. I mean, look at this. 13. It's a lot of damage coming. Spirit Summoning to trigger Pledge Mage. But again, we have the potential to just win on ourselves. Gotta go for that. Gotta hope we draw land and can just pull it off with... I don't know if it's enough, but we're gonna find out. Let's see, it'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it'd be Xaxes. If we draw a land and we got... Oh, come on. That would have been good. So close. Man, 1 land draw away from just winning this game. I don't know, barring 3 cards and 2 mana. I acknowledge that we don't have it for sure, but I mean, subtraction is good here, but it doesn't win us the game here, right? And I like to not lose the game. What are we going to do to not lose the game? We have, yeah, I suppose it could be a second study break. Maybe I need to just move to combat to even see what happens there. Definitely something pausing, but it could just be because this can tap, so there's no, we don't understand anything because this explains pausing. Well, now we don't have attacks or any, frustrating. One land and it's so good. Sure, but you can fire it off to get sciences for your storm. Yes. Is it going to be enough? And when are we doing it? If we fire it off, like to try and get sciences for this, I guess that gives us to 6. Maybe it's worth doing just because it gets us to 6 life. So let's say we do that. Let's say we subtract and send in the apprentice even. I don't know if we can. We could get him to 8, but then we would have 2 blockers and 6 life. We would have to chump on the ground and then we'd still be dead. So we can't send anything even with the subtraction. But we are going to subtract to find the land now, because what else can we do? I mean, we could play the effigy as well, I suppose. And then we have blocks for everything, technically. I just don't trust that we don't just lose to the 3 cards in Bob's hand. And we can't really win on the crackback if we do that plan and get the Pigment Storm, because they're just going to come with too much damage. Yeah, I know we're past attacks. I'm just, I'm trying to figure out whether it's actually just better to play an actual blocker. That's all. Because you could really make that case that we should really just try and block. And draw a Pigment Storm naturally. I think I'm going to do that. At least we just have clean blocks and everything here. Clean trades, ostensibly, with everything here. I mean, it's not going to work because Rock Bobster has cards and mana. But Brian wants to learn. But I think we get destroyed by Bobster's cards and mana no matter what. I'm going to do this. I got to make a decision. I'm hemming and hawing too much. But I just feel like subtraction just to go get 2 life and a land. I'd rather just have the blocker. Now, I'd rather guarantee a blocker this turn, I guess is what I'm saying. And interesting attack. If that's the only attack, I'm going to take it. I mean, we could die to like Lightning Bolt or something. I'm going to accept that potentiality because this at least gives us the chance to win the way we were going to try to win before, right? So I'm going to just yeah, it could be study for the win. Right, but what? Okay, let's say it is study, and it sure feels like it. What's our plan if we don't do that? Like, so I block here, and they study, and we trade. I don't love the plan after that, right? It's just like, because even study gets us to 1. I'm going to say no blocks, and I accept that we're likely dead here, but there's so many things that we're likely dead to that I'm just not going to play around them and give us a chance. Study gets us dead. Study is legit dead, but let's say we block. They study. Study gives trample, and then we're at 1 anyway. We're so close to dead that I don't see how we get there from. I mean, I guess we could survive at 1 though. I mean, we could survive at 1. Well, they might. I mean, if they thought they could kill us, right? And also, if it is study, why didn't they just swing away? It doesn't make sense to me that it's study. I'm going to take it. All right, it was multiple stuff, but it took 2 cards. Well, Brian, that's a tough question. If I don't feel like I can survive tricks, good game, Bobster. Here, let me give you a
He's dead, sir.
That man's dead back there. Must be dead. He was worse than dead. His brain is gone.
Fair enough. The attack doesn't make sense if it's not lethal. You could probably break it down and show me how, if we presume that's lethal, here's the possible ways you can survive that situation. But if my feeling was, if Bobster had the tricks to win the game there, then Bobster had the tricks to win the game through us blocking as well. Not that turn per se, but with those tools, with those 2 combat tricks, it was going to be virtually impossible for us to win that game. So my thought was, all right, we are almost certainly going to die here, but I feel like we are almost certainly going to die if Bobster has anything. So I'm going to play like Bobster has nothing. So, I know it didn't have trample, but I'm just saying that's my thought process. I'm not saying that that Luis would have done that or that that was the 100% correct play. I'm at least trying to help you understand my thought process, which was, I feel like I can't beat anything. This feels like a lethal attack, but I also feel like I can't beat anything, so I'm going to play like Oppo has nothing. Good job, though. No skunk this week. No XO for anybody. Chat is on board with a win. And Street Rach is up next to see if she can keep your hopes of winning the week alive. As I'm now 3-1. Good job, Bobster. I did say I would switch decks, so let me do a quick deck switch. But if I lose with this one, I'm switching back. So I'm switching decks whenever I lose. And kind of built this quickly. Got to make sure there's nothing obvious. But I think it is what it is. There was like, we could play another assistant. But I like running this as we built it. 9-6 feels a little light on that front. We're going to go... I don't know if that's a good question. Is there an update tomorrow that will refresh the quests? I'm not sure. That's a great question, Happy. Seven, 9 might be correct. 1 planes. No, I think I want 8-8. We got a lot of double green, or we got a lot of green needs at 2. That's kind of what drives my decisions on that front. So I'm going to do that. Apply styles. Call it good. And we'll try the rot deck this time. All right, Street Rach, good luck. We'll see you. Actually, I'm going to try it without, just to see if it works. I'm trying to get some data here on whether the restart every time is really required. All right. Well, I like the Witherbloom command early because we may manage to pick off a a creature with it, with a -3/-1. We'll keep this, though. Got a decent 2, 3, 4 curve out if the mana cooperates. Come on, deck, land off the top for this Woe Eater. And then we got to decide what to eat. Probably itself. All right, found the land. Yeah, just play it. Another cram session for Introduction to Annihilation. Interesting. So let's see what Rachel does with the rest of this turn. Might go ahead and just sack the Apprentice and make him use this on the Woe Eater. What do you think? Yeah, instant would have been nice. Like, just like something to turn the -3/-1 into an effective threat. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about the -3/-1 too. Like, it's actually legit as a combat trick, but as sorcery speed, it's just nothing. Like, what does the -3 even do? Sorcery speed. It's really weird. So, yeah, what do you want to sack, gang? Do you like just taking the Woe Eater value now? We sack this, we draw a card, gain 2 Oppo discards. Trouble is, Rachel has a ton of stuff to discard. We do have a regrowth to get back something else. I like getting in with a big smack here. I'm going to attack for 10. Or I could hold the Apprentice, because this is probably going to be worth more damage over the course of the game than the Servant anyway, with the upcoming spells. I think I'm going to leave the Eater and send and sack the Servant. I think this is powerful enough with its rules text to get rid of the generic 3/2. And we get to add this one to the board anyway. Yeah, the Aerialist, losing the Aerialist in that blocking situation was certainly a factor. Like, the Aerialist was a big part of how we were planning to win. So now we put Rachel to the test, because we're showing that we're willing to just keep this thing alive and crack away for 6. Is she willing to use the Introduction to Annihilation to get rid of this thing? If so, she's still taking 5 from the remaining creatures. All right, well, that's still good. Forcing Rachel to use removal on the thing that was causing us to sack creatures. We could even regrow it. But I can start with an attack. Could also regrow the Servant and cast it, which is a legit consideration there. Just applying pressure to Rachel and putting 8 power on board against 9 life and no board with a Witherbloom command. So I am going to do that. I'm going to be aggressive here. Oh, in fact, 8 power because, you know, putting lethal on board thanks to our Apprentice. Could have waited for the upkeep trigger. I don't know what you mean. Oh, she could have? Yeah, for sure. Might have not wanted to give us that window to respond, though. I don't know. Reasonable observation, though. All right, Witherbloom Command is actually going to get it done. How about that? We're going to kill and drain and attack. All right.
I do my hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
The week she is mine, chat. But couple of wins from y'all and it becomes a nice close one. Or a couple wins from me and I kind of blew you out. What's it going to be? Let's find out. Yeah, classic Witherbloom aggro. It's totally the fun place of the format, right? I find Cram Session to be, Cram Session to be a little better than not good. I'm not going to call it good, but I think it's a little better than not good. I think it's a fine playable given the strength. Of course, how playable is Cram Session? I don't know. How good are your lessons, right? So obviously the quality of learn cards is heavily dependent on what lessons you ended up with. But assuming you have good, strong lessons, I like running the card. I'm not going to go crazy over it, but I'm happy to put it in my decks that have good lessons. I'll say that. All right. Tsoski. Gonna go for the no restart direct challenge because it was actually working. And we'll stick with the rot version until I lose with it. Funny. Well, plan A in the opener. Just got to get there. And we do have some tools to get there. So let's keep. Unfortunate to have this in your opener, though. You really don't want it in your opening hand, but we'll accept. The command is back to see if we can make any kind of use of it again. I'm going to go with the Apprentice. Well, I guess Amplimancer is less valuable. So on one hand, you like to play out your less valuable stuff. On the other hand, Apprentice has Magecraft, and we may command right away if they give us a target. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Apprentice to try to get max value out of that if we come up with a reason to play the command next turn. And if we don't, we have the Pledge Mage anyway. And then Pledge Mage into Amplimancer command is also appealing if we can find another forest. Or forest or swamp gives us the Woe Eater. There's the swamp for the Woe Eater possibility, and then you get new chill.
All right, everyone, chill.
Yeah, command really came up short, right? There's just a couple of tweaks they could have done on this to make it much more appealing. Either instant speed, so the -3, -1 does something, -2, -2, so it can kill something legit. If that's too powerful, add a colorless mana onto it or something. But it's all right though. You know, some command's got to be the worst command, right? It can be that one. And looks like we're going to start eating some woe. Whoa. so given that we're eating some woe, I guess we send in an offer. I'll trade either of these off for a Pledge Mage, especially with Team Pennant around the corner looking to make these bigger. We can play this off anything, so I'm going to play the Plains just to have a threat of a third color in our actions. And yeah, I'm going to send both. Whoa. Maybe we need a Bill and Ted Woe meme for any card that has Woe in the name. Certainly there's a lot of those that... It seems like every set has something printed with Woe in the title. Uh-oh. I got it in Hat's brain. No Joey Lawrence memes. Hey, yeah, good point. Look, we can destroy a non-creature, non-land permanent. Except it's got a mana value. Oh, a mana value 1 or... Yeah, we can do it. Woohoo! Oh, really? It is? Oh, sorry, Hat. Well, there you go. That's funny. I'm behind on my meme auditions. I got like 6 memes waiting in my inbox. Very well played. So, let's see. What do we like getting rid of here? Sotski stuck on land a little bit. We could just get rid of the Pledge Mage again and do what we did last time. Slam away with this thing. I think I like that. And then, how about this? I'm going to send in everything. We might lose the Witherbloom Apprentice, but it would be for a trade. So if Sotski blocks the Apprentice with Trickster, when we Witherbloom command and kill the artifact, it'll be a trade. So I'm going to offer it. And happy to just take the extra damage if they don't block. The Magecraft trigger would be nice, but I'm willing to trade the creatures off here, given the board state. It basically is we get close to approach where the board is cleared. We're going to have plenty of life, and we just kind of cruise on the approach unless they've got the removal, unless they got the counter. So, and actually, what do I want to do? Like, maybe I want to even try to get the land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see carefully what I want to do. Mills 3 cards, then we return a land card from graveyard to hand. That could be interesting. We're going to destroy the pennant, and then I guess we just drain them. Because we can also kill, yeah. I guess we just drain them here. We'll get our land eventually. True says, wait, what do you want? Yeah, I was going to go kill the artifact and drain is my plan. Amplimancer actually has pump here. Not bad, not bad. Trickster is back, but not really even plan A anymore is to get there with creatures. We just want to get there with approach next turn. But this turn we can drop a couple critters. And now we're threatening on a couple axes, just attacking with a big Amplimancer and following it with an approach. There's your big fancy mythic animation. Enjoy.
All right, everyone. Chill.
Interesting tap of the Fanatic as opposed to the Amplimancer, given that this can pump, but doesn't really matter either way because this can't attack through the Serpent. All right, that's good to see. Like, we do need to have some survival to get to the second approach, so this helps. Cast both of these and pass. Could be a counter unless... So leading with this means if this gets countered and put in the yard, we get to get it back. So I like starting with the Spectre and following with the Trudge. That's true. Locking down life gain in a race situation makes good sense. You like swing? Yeah, I should have done that when we had mana, though. I'm going to say no now. Let's see what they learn. See if they learn something that stops the approach. That's what I'm worried about. You were fine just trading? Yeah, that's fair, but I feel like we can do so much more to pressure them next turn, including threatening the pump and attacking with everything else. Just feels like if I was going to do it, I should have done it with open mana, and I didn't. No worries, Confucius. Yeah, I think you're basically right. Mostly you are playing this and sacking it to itself. Today, I've actually sacrificed real cards to it twice, and that's very unusual. I've never really done that before. What did I miss? What was that? That was exiling Spectre. Okay. So... yeah, normally it's very risky to sacrifice real cards to it because then if they kill the Woe Eater, it's a 2-for-1. In the cases where I did it this event though, Oppo was under a ton of pressure and nearly tapped out. Like, it was just like, okay, if they have the removal to make that play that really kind of blows us out a bit, it's okay because they spent their whole turn doing it and we get to come in with the other stuff. But mostly, if they've got a lot of cards and mana, yeah, you're going to want to sack it to itself or you're taking on a lot of risk. No blocks here. And we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're quite a ways from double pumping this, but it is a kind of a forced block. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I should have maybe I was supposed to chump there. And we are on a clock right now. Right now they win. We're the ones that need help. So yeah, we should swing all just to get some life cushion. And because we can't, we get forced blocks and really, I guess we kind of, this has to block as well, right? So we reduce them down to 8 on the attack. Let's send. Pump, and it leaves us with return mana. So, question is, do we need to cast this turn? Yeah, I think we pump to save as opposed to cast this turn. If these are blanks, they're in a bad spot because Leech Fanatic gets through because this Amplimancer becomes a forced block. Basically, they can't attack. And we are approaching the second sun. Approaching the approach. Uh-oh. Gotta hate Scry to the top. That's gotta be a strong keep for Sasuke to keep that one. And we are on just dump hand and cross fingers here. Did I have 10? I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we've been stuck on 9 here. 10 mana makes an 8/8 out of the Amplimancer. That's what True is on about. All right, Sasuke's in the tank. That's got to be good for us. But they also scried and kept to the top. So, but now it's a replacement scry. So maybe we did something that changed things. And Sasuke had a line that we thwarted with our play somehow. But we're in a pretty good spot. The approach is getting closer, and land gives us double activation on Amplimancer. Not land gives us some action. So no matter what, we're going to draw something useful. Or something... I don't know what our least useful spell is. But all of our lands enter untapped, so there's that. Alright, 10 land. Often frustrating, but in this case, actually good. Could send this as must block. Kind of like sending all of this. Boy, do we just send everything? I don't know what they could... I mean, technically we have lethal. I'm going to swing away, make him have it. It's lethal on board if we do nothing, but we have double Amplimancer activation, so... I suppose I should wait, right? Like, right now this is lethal, so I should just accept it. I shouldn't do anything. And that's why. So now we will, because we want this to live. Pressuring Sasuke on 2 fronts, life total and second casting of approach. Well, that's going to help him a little bit, but, oh! Just enough. Well played, Sasuke. Staying alive. Staying alive. We win the game. We win the game. We win the game. Well played, though. That was excellent stabilization efforts from Sasuke. We had him on a couple axes there, but I really respect the play choices there. Well played to keep it alive. Well played, well played. Good game. I love how you made me work for it the whole way through and came up with stabilization plays the whole way through. Nice done. Nicely done. All right. Well, I've locked up a solid win. Can I get to the old 6-1? Let's find out. The anchor player, Shadow Jim. And I will keep on the green-black since we didn't lose with it. Oh, close, but not quite. Let's try that again. At least it gave us some info. Did I mess that up? Let's see. 40, best of 1. All right. Take 2. Oh, you got to do the... it defaults to drop down. You just got to click the drop down and switch it to 40, and then it defaults to best of 1. Kind of ugly. Can't really do anything with his hand. We got a 6-drop and a 7-drop that we don't even want yet and don't have the black mana for our other stuff. We're throwing this back. All right, that looks better. We're going to keep and figure out what to pitch. Probably just ditch the Poet here and keep Amplifier, Infuse, and the beefier drop. We can't cast this yet, but I'm going to plan on getting there. I guess we could make a case for even just pitching like the Plains and trying to get there on an aggressive start. But that feels a little greedy even for me. I think we just accept that we let the Poet go, it's not that great, and we just work with this hand. The argument for keeping the Poet and maybe ditching Infuse is that we go creature potentially and just curve out on creatures, but I like to have a little interaction here. And you could also, I guess, make the case of ditching the thing we can't cast yet, but again, I just presume we are going to find our colors eventually and go for that. Yeah, this isn't the sexiest use of this card ever, but I'll take it. Good question, Nebula. I still think I like the Prismari one better, but this one is doing fine as well. This is looking pretty ugly, though. I don't like our chances given this particular hand and the mulligan. But I like that Jim didn't get an attack in there. And I like that we now have a play. So I'm not even going to offer the Amplimancer now. This Jim might have counter magic up, but this isn't the worst thing to get countered. I'm going to throw this out here and see if it lands. And I could attack and hope that Jim again declines to block, but I really didn't want to spend only 2 mana that turn. If Jim blocks and I'm forced to infuse, it leaves too much mana fallow for my comfort. Some tempo from Jim. Let's see what Jim learns from this. Spirit summoning. All right. Next turn we threaten a 4/4, which if Jim plays a 3/2, is a reasonable double block. So it's not even necessarily a good... Oh, but Jim's going for the attack. Okay, I see. There's our approach. I think This returns it tapped, right? Yeah. Well, now I kind of like offer a trade, accept it if it happens, and then no matter what, play Spectre after combat. But I'll at least threaten the pump, which means probably Jim doesn't block because we just threatened to eat it. So this is kind of unblockable in that way. CBL is open. Let me restart it. A couple people have mentioned CBL, so let's give it a chance with the old restart, see if that helps. My wife is texting me. Oh. Adorable. My wife is down in Arizona at her now past parents' old house, wrapping some business up there. But she's got discovering a lot of memories. She sent me an old photo of her and her sisters when she was a little girl. It's the game mode going optimal. What am I don't know what that means. All right. Well, this is reasonable because we can, with the sack ability on the stack, we can infuse it with vitality and then sack it. So that's pretty cool. We'll do that. And uh-oh. Rejected. Boo earns. Now I gotta find the reject meme too.
Mitchell on the emphatic rejection.
And are we doing anything? I'm probably not blocking anything with the Spectre. I guess I would bounce off the runner though. So I'm gonna, interesting. Am I supposed to be aggressive here or am I supposed to threaten to block here? I think I don't want to threaten to block till I have infuse. So I'm gonna send. Thank you, Coffee, for getting me through another day. We're starting to. And yeah, I'll make this trade, or try to.
Why are there so many?
Getting hit with a lot of underwhelming cards, but I try not to play Reject and I try not to play Befuddler, but they're both playable, so I get it. They're certainly wrecking us right now. Command is pretty good though, right? Let's see, we can make them sack. We could take anything, any of the sacrifice, and 2 mana or less graveyard to battlefield. Probably just want to return a blocker, huh? So I'm going to make them sack, and I'm going to return a creature of ours, and then we'll have some blocking to do. But now I think we need the Spectre back on D. Although I could do same reasoning. We could hold this back to block this, and although if the Pledge Mage attacks, that's pretty rough. Still, I don't. The only question is, would we put Spectre in front of the runner if the runner attacks, and would we rather just have the 2 damage to the face? We are going to gain some life here. We have Approach to gain some life coming up, we hope. So I am going to... But man, it's... Yeah, I'm going to attack. Because really, the block we're going to make here, if given the chance, is Amplimancer on 3-2. And I wouldn't put the Spectre in front of the Pledge Mage. I'd only put it in front of the Runner, and I'm not sure I'd want to do that. So that's kind of worst case that we lose our blocker here. But again, you know, you got to make your opponent have it in these cases too. Oh, so close. If we just had 6 mana here and could cast both of these, it would be so good for us. As it is, with 2 life on the life gain, I think we're at a surprising 6. So I think we just hold back here on the Infuse plan and then try to follow with the Onslaught plan. Also, if Jim doesn't have another instant, the Pledge Mage doesn't attack anyway. That's a problem, of course. But I'm hoping Jim sends both. Except now I'm not, because that hurts. And we're just dead. Good job, Jim. You made it a little closer. You kept me off of the 6-1. I'm going to do this to gain some life, but I think it's just over. If this brought it back untapped, we'd have a chance. But it brings it back tapped, unfortunately, is the problem. All right. You can thank Jim for bringing chat a little more respectability there to finish. Well done. Yeah, there was all sorts of reasons that was not going to work out for us, Mike. I was mainly just casting spells. Good game, Jim. Well played. Well built. Getting little hair pop-ups here and there. All right. Yeah. We all, come on, we have a little bit of, you know, when it comes to win-loss, that's where we care a little bit about respectability, right? Here, I'll give you a final, here's for me.
Is this a dead man, Doctor? Very dead, Mr. Spock.
And this one is for chat. Are we going to the store today, chat? Did you win prizes today, chat?
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Wonka has your answer. Look, I'm just the guy playing the memes. Hat made that. Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka is some brilliant casting. If you're a fan of that movie, there's a really interesting letter that Gene Wilder wrote to the costume designer. Like, Wilder was so into the role and so into the Wonka role, and really, like, it was just really interesting to see an actor be as involved as he was in terms of reaching out. At, like, he had a real idea of what Wonka should look like. And it's really interesting because if you look at the Wilder letter, you realize that, like, Gene Wilder was effectively the character designer. Like, he effectively designed the look of his own character through that letter communication. It was really interesting. Thank you, Jim. Jim tossing out some gift subs. Much love. Thank you so much. Anyway, let me hop to Soapbox. Hey, YouTube friends. Hope you enjoyed that. If I can get that kind of result on the Open, I'll be really happy because it means I probably make day 2. I mean, that was only 5-2, so I don't know if I get to 7 wins with that pool in the main event, but fun to have some success today, fun to play with chat. And I really appreciate Hat for coordinating. And I appreciate all the players for taking their time to help me with this content and appear on the stream. So thank you to everybody involved in getting this event off today. And I had a lot of fun. Hope you did too, YouTube friends. We'll catch you the next one. See ya. Want me to update the record? Jim wants an updated record. There you go. I often fail to add the final winner loss, but Jim wants his due, so he gets it. All right, see ya.